start by talking about Ted Bundy. Now, Ted Bundy is TB, and I've been referring to Bryan Kohberger as BK, and there are unique letters in the B and the T and the K. In fact, these are unique letters also in BTK, which was Dennis Rader's symbol that he named himself. And this is the person that Dr. Ramsland wrote a book with. Now, they both lived in Pennsylvania as children. I'm talking about Ted Bundy and also Bryan Kohberger. They both earned bachelor's degree in psychology. They both had higher education in related fields. We have law school for Ted Bundy. He didn't complete this, but he did enroll and was trying to be a lawyer for a time. Criminal justice for Bryan Kohberger. He did complete this. He did get his master's degree in criminal justice. They both moved to Washington, to the state of Washington, to attend universities. They attended different universities, but I talked to you in the past about Ted Bundy's connection to the YYY State Park and also the victim that was found there. And Bryan Kohberger also was using YYY State Park in his alibi, but Cy Ray was going to present to the jury. Now, both of them were both, in my opinion, narcissistic sociopaths. So this is just my opinion. Opinions are not facts, but Bryan Kohberger, I think, was a budding SK, and we know Ted Bundy was an SK. Their birthdays are both in November, with Kohberger's birthday being November 24th and Ted Bundy's birthday being November 21st. So did Bryan Kohberger feel an affinity toward Ted Bundy because of the article that his mom, Mary Ann, wrote? Well, Bryan Kohberger pled guilty. Get this, you guys. He pled guilty on the same day, July 2nd, that Ted Bundy was arrested in Utah. So a lot of people feel like his timing of when he chose to plead guilty is significant. And we know that, as I shared with you, not the last live stream, but the one before that, that Ted Bundy's one of his victims was found at the YYY State Park. And Dr. Mercado, who's a psychologist who believes that Bryan Kohberger was planning to take Maddie to the YYY State Park and do unspeakable things to her. But he would have been surprised to find Kaylee in the same bed with Maddie, according to Dr. Mercado. Now, Bryan Kohberger allegedly searched online for Ted Bundy and non-consensual SA for sleeping, passed out, and he did wait until everybody was in their rooms and their beds and probably thought they were asleep before he broke into the house. And we know now from Bill Thompson that he did go straight up the stairs to Maddie's room where Kaylee was. Now, according to NBC News, they both like to hunt their victims. Ted Bundy infamously stalked his victims, studying their movements, their patterns, their behaviors before closing the distance in a very brutal fashion. And in 1978, in an attack in Tallahassee, Florida, that led to Ted Bundy's ultimate arrest and downfall, left 2 female students done away with and 2 others severely injured. And this shows, that both of Ted Bundy and Bryan Kohberger had a similar manner of doing away with people. They both liked it to be up close. They were both targeting co-eds, college students, and they were both, choosing to do it while they were in their rooms, while they were asleep. So former defense attorney for Ted Bundy, his name is John Henry Brown, and we're going to talk about Mary Ann Coberger and Ted Bundy in just a second, and then we're going to talk about that bizarre road trip. When was it really planned? And we're going to also be looking at enhanced prison photos. I saw a news article with some prison photos. Well, I went and got some more. So I have a lot of prison photos of Bryan Kohberger, where he's going to be. So we're going to go through those together too. So the former Bundy defense attorney, John Henry Brown, now he highlighted his own comparisons between the nature of Ted Bundy's crimes and Bryan Kohberger. Now he compared the Idaho crime scene to a de facto sorority house. It was a party house, like the Chi Omega house that Ted Bundy went to with the 2 Florida State University students back in 1978. And we're going to talk about Mary Ann Kohberger and her affinity for Ted Bundy and how this would have played a role, in my opinion, in just a second. But just the randomness of it actually, is important. And of course, uh, Ted Bundy's behavior was not random, in my opinion. I think he hunted his victims, he picked his victims, he targeted them. And we found out something similar with Bryan Kohberger. He had photos of sorority students from WSU and also University of Idaho on his phone. Um, Girls in their bikinis that he had downloaded from social media. So did they both exert this sort of grandiosity, this narcissism? Now, not all narcissists are psychopaths, but all people who have psychopathy are believed to be also narcissists. So was this grandiosity, this playing God, if you will, to decide who would live and who would not? If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It's free and it helps me out a lot. Give this a thumbs up and drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.